And I just want tranquility, peace. I think that if it's done with education, given the limit of suffering, that the specific matter is a contentious proceeding. What is going to be shown is, what I'm going to comment on is something that is written in law and is not being followed. And it is quite and it is obvious. It is a topic that the article makes very clear. The deadlines are very well specified, and in my case, they have been completely ignored. Those deadlines have been violated by a large margin, and the fines indicated in that article have not been imposed. So that's the issue. Well, as you can see, I tried to record the video, but it was impossible. So I think the best thing is to record it in audio, and it sounds like a podcast mode style. There are many videos that are heard in podcast mode where you can just leave the phone there and listen to it calmly. First of all, my name is Pelayo Vasquez Rodriguez, and I am an aeronautical engineer, similar to a graduate equivalent. That is to say, I am not just a graduate, I am qualified for the profession of aeronautical engineer. The issue I'm going to discuss is from an administrative litigation trial. And the first thing I need to say is that I am making this video because the level of suffering has already reached and of the situation itself. And I believe that if it is done politely, and it is only done or sought in good faith, and all I want is peace and calm, then there is no problem in making the video. Why am I doing this? Because YouTube or any type of platform is a very powerful way to reach many people, and since I still haven't managed to find help from anyone, well, this way I can surely find help from someone, because I have tried everything but everything. Furthermore, I think I'm going to approach this video in the following way, which is that a situation has been reached where something is being breached that is in law, which is why I'm confident in making the video, because it's no longer about who says it. What I am trying to establish is that it no longer matters who says it, but rather to establish a solid foundation by saying, look, this is the law and it is not being followed. I will explain it now, which is very similar to, for example, in mathematics. If you were to create a theorem, once it is proven, it will never be false. It will always be true. It lasts for eternity. That is how mathematical thinking works. I give this a similar level of importance, in that it is something that is in the law, it is very clear, I will explain it now, and it is not being followed. So, I've been at this for a long time. To recap, I'm saying this politely. It's not to stir things up, because I've been waiting for this for 2 years, since the administrative process began on May 15th, 2023, and it's clear that I'm quite fed up, and all I want is peace. What does the problem consist of? The problem is that Article 48 of Law 29 of 1998, in the most recent updated version, which came into effect this 2024, states in Section 7 that in the event that the file is incomplete, that is, in our case, that the exams are missing, which is the fundamental part. To challenge the competitive examination process, because the exams are essay-based, not multiple choice, in which there is no doubt they are essay-based exercises. That seventh section states that the administration has a period of 10 business days to provide those exams to complete the file. In our case, almost 8 months have passed, not 10 days, almost 8 months, and the exams still have not appeared. The same section, the seventh, states that if those exams have not been delivered within those 10 days, a coercive fine will be imposed. That fine, it even says it shall be imposed, not may be imposed. I mean, it is categorical, right? No fine has been imposed in our case. And the same section 7 indicates that fine will be repeated every 20 days until it is completed, until the exercises appear in the exams in our case. It has not been repeated either. When taking into account the judicial calendar of non-working days, having passed 8 months, 8 fines should have been imposed. The fine should have been reiterated, being imposed on 8 occasions. Furthermore, it clearly states that the fine will be reiterated, not that it may be reiterated. And this is taken into account as the article, the section very clearly states, from the moment that this party notifies that something is missing from the file, that is, the exams are missing. And that was done in September by written request, including the corresponding order of procedure demanding that the other party complete the file with the exams. Furthermore, the 10th section of this article states that once the first 3 fines have been imposed, the matter will be reported to the public prosecutor's office, which is something serious and grave. That has not been done either. In our case, that has not been done either. Furthermore, the previous section 7 indicates that obviously, before imposing the fine, one must notify who is the res. One must find who is responsible for that part of the file being missing, that is to say, that the exercises are missing. In my case, we also have no record that the person responsible has been identified. I do not know if it has been done, but I or this party have not been informed of who is responsible for those exercises. And all the lawyers I have consulted tell me that I am right, but that it is customary to do that. So, if the law is not being followed in what causes me suffering, and mind you, I have tried not to make the video, I have tried to talk to Azahara, the article, applying Article 24 of the Constitution and 7 of Law 5 of 2024, which gives people the right to be heard. Well then, even so, no lawyer wants to help. I mean, they refuse, they say it is custom, but what is the difference between, well, if the law is not applied, it is not applied. It is, and that is very serious. It is very serious. Spain is a state. We are in a rule of law. The law prevails. The Constitution says so. Ultimately, the right to a fair trial is being violated. My right to a fair trial is being violated. And even more so, when it is not 10 days that the deadline has been missed by, it is 7 months. And it is simply for the other party to submit the exams to the court, simply. Why? Because what affects me and the suffering is because, first, no lawyer has told me that it is custom. I mean, no, they refuse. And on the other hand, I cannot defend myself either. In other words, in Spain, you can represent yourself in labor cases, in civil cases, if it is less than a certain amount of money, and in criminal cases if they are minor offenses, but not in this case, although in other countries like the United States, you can. So my situation is, it is horrible because on one hand, I cannot defend myself. I cannot say absolutely anything. Nothing I say is taken into account. I have no voice in the judicial proceedings, but on the other hand, no lawyer wants to help me with this. Well, I've been at this for a long time now, 2 years since the administrative stage, and well, it's the family, there is none. I have been left alone, and although it is true that not all of this is this is not all of my problems. Well, it does contribute a great deal to show what I have been through. Surely there are people who feel. have found it, have felt, have gone through something similar of muscle pain where you wake up as if you had been beaten up, literally. And then when that continues, I give it, for example, to a colleague from Sabitar, who is a computer engineer on YouTube, that after the muscle pain, what happens is, and to me, and it has happened to me, and it is horrible, which is instead of the muscles, it goes to your heart pain, which is scary because sometimes if it gets out of control, well, it gives you a scare. It's scary. So, well, as I said, I'm making this video, this video that is taking me a lot of effort, but it's no, there was no other option left, and it's done politely and doing without any problem. The conclusion is this: I am looking for a lawyer who can help me with this, because I am also without a lawyer, and it is urgent. And so far, I haven't found any lawyer with the courage to be able to claim this among other things that have happened. It's not the only thing, nor it's not the only thing, far from it. And just as I reasoned before, it on YouTube, it reaches many people. It is a way to reach many people. So if there is someone who can help, because if there is someone who has gone through the same thing as me, please contact me. If there is someone who has been in a similar situation, please contact me. And lastly, well, as I said, maybe I am different, but I have weighed the suffering and I say, look, if I don't do it, it's not because I have tried not to do it, but I see that if I don't, the suffering is even greater. So it is like there is only one way, and no, it is like I am unable to grasp that. I mean, since I was little, I mean, in school, they tell you, you always try to be good, learn to think, learn to reason, etc., etc. And then suddenly you find that you have to uh, come to terms with these things. Like, for example, the law is not followed, even though it is a clear and simple example, and one that the other lawyers I have consulted have also agreed with me on. They have given me every reason that you are completely right, but that it is not done. Lastly, I am leaving a screenshot of Article 48 and my contact details so that any interested lawyer or people who have gone through a similar situation can reach out.